Right, with this question here, describe fully the single transformation that transformed shape A onto shape B, okay? And in a way, they're helping you out a little bit here because they've bolded, haven't they? Single transformation. You might look at this and think, well, there's a couple of things going on here. You might think that certainly there's an enlargement, yeah, because the shape is changing size, right? From A to B, it's getting smaller, isn't it? So you see that. But also you might think there's a rotation, right? You might think that's what's going on. But no. There's only one transformation. That's what they're telling us, right? There's just a single transformation that is doing this, all right? And, you know, you might be unsure. You might think, well, what is it then? Is it an enlargement? Is it a rotation? Well, the first thing you've got to look for is the enlargement thing, okay? That's the way I would go about this. And realize, well, look, the shape has changed in size. So if the shape has changed in size, then it's got to be an enlargement, all right? Now it looks as though the shape has been rotated, but sometimes with an enlargement you get that effect, okay? And of course, especially when the enlargement is by a negative scale factor, okay? So write down that word enlargement and you get 1 mark, but you need to say the scale factor, okay? Now, let's have a look from A to B. Well, if we look at a corresponding length, so for instance this here corresponds to this, doesn't it? Yeah? This side here, and if you count there, I think there's 8 squares going across, whereas if you count here, there's only 4 squares, okay? So it's kind of halved, doesn't it? And the same here, if you count that bit there, there's 4, it's gone to 2, so we've halved. So the scale factor you might think of as being a half, but I'll write that down for a minute, okay? But it's not quite a half, as you'd see now, right? It's not quite a half. Before I come back to that, before then, the other thing we need to find out for 3 marks, right, we need to find a third thing. Remember now we've written this in enlargement, that's 1 mark. We get a mark for writing down the correct scale factor, but we also get the third mark for writing the centre of enlargement, okay? We need to know where this is being enlarged about, okay? So we write that down, about centre, and we need a coordinate, okay? So I'll leave that blank for a minute. Now to get the centre is really easy because all you've got to do is you've just got to join up the corner points, the corresponding corners, okay, of each shape. So for instance here, if I take this corner point here, okay, that has stemmed from this corner point here, okay, so we can join them up, right? Okay, that's nice, but going to need more than 1 corner point corresponding, right? We need to look at a few. So this corner point here corresponds from that corner point, doesn't it? So we can join them up, okay? And they're going to cross at a certain point, okay? And where they cross, that gives us our centre, okay? That gives us our centre. So it's obviously looking here, isn't it? That's looking good. But I wouldn't just check 2, I'd check a few. I'd check 3, okay? You know, this corner point here stems from this corner point, doesn't it? So if I join them up, it should cross at that point I've just highlighted. It does indeed, look, okay? This corner here corresponds to that corner, so they will go through there, won't it? What about this one? This here corresponds to that other corner there. Okay, so they go through that point there. That's my centre, right? So across 7, up 4. Okay, now, not quite done. I want to go back to this, right? And the reason why this looks as though it's rotated. What we've actually got is a negative scale factor. If the enlarged shape is the other side of the point, right, so to speak, the other side of the centre, okay, so you've got shape either side if you like, you've got shapes either side of the centre for enlargement. If that's the case, then it's a negative scale factor, okay, so you need to have minus half there, and that's the effect that it has, right? It looks as though it's sort of flipped. But the key to starting this off was realising it was an enlargement because the shape had changed size.